If you use statistics in your business, you may have noticed a metric called bounce rate. All that bounce rate is the number of visitors that come to your website and then instantly vanish. There's a lot of reasons why this might happen. One is that a customer might come to your website and then realize that it isn't even close to what they were looking for. On the other hand, people sometimes come to your website and just get a bad feeling about what they see. In his book, Your Mind at Work, David Rock talks about the different negative impressions that we give off sometimes. He organizes these negative impressions into 5 basic categories, which can be remembered with an acronym, SCARF. In his book, Dr. Rock uses these factors to help us have stronger relationships at work, not step on as many toes as we might, and we can also use these principles at home, even with moody teenagers. These principles, though, are universal and they can be used in internet marketing very effectively. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to talk about how we can use these principles to make a more positive impact on people that come to our website. If you go back and look at your website, with these factors in mind, you're going to go a long way to being more engaging and connect with people in a meaningful way. The first of those factors is status. If we think that something is going to advance our status in the world, it's intriguing enough at least to give a second look. Perhaps this product is going to give me another 50 yards on my golf drive. Perhaps this personal development book is going to help me to become more indispensable to my boss or my clients. When you're writing copy to appeal to a person's sense of personal status, you have to do it in a genuine and specific way. So it's important not to make things up. Don't come up with things that sound artificial. Your customers are smart. They'll know when you're just stroking them. If you're selling something like an aesthetic or a decorative item, you may want to demonstrate how the item is going to look when they're wearing it or when it's sitting in their home. Obviously, the best way to do that is with excellent photography. When you have excellent graphics or photography demonstrating the use of your product, people will make up their own sales copy that is very personal to them. Certainty. Nobody on the internet knows that you're a dog. This little quip from the late 90s aptly demonstrates just how anonymous we all are on the internet. No one really knows who they're dealing with until that anonymous person on the other end shows himself in a video or talks about their business or otherwise discloses who they are in some way. One of the easiest ways to disclose yourself to your clients is by just putting your phone number on your website somewhere where they can find it. So many large corporations create this aura of the anonymous monolith by hiding their phone numbers and their contact information in clandestine corners of their website. If you're obviously hiding to your customers, people will be less inclined to connect with you. Here are some other things that you can do to promote certainty on your website. Since we're trying to be explicit about who we are on our websites, we want to either have a photo of ourselves or of our staff, or perhaps a video of us talking about our product. Make some effort to talk about yourself or your company. Talk about where you went to school, how long have you been in this industry, why you enjoy the work that you do. These are the kinds of things that help customers to see exactly who they're dealing with, that take the mystery out of this anonymous person who they're about to do business with. Take a big risk and list your prices clearly. One of the problems with doing business online and e-commerce as a whole is that you never really know what the end price is going to be. So if you can provide flat rate shipping or some other thing that makes the end price clear to your customer, this goes a long way to promoting a feeling of certainty when dealing with you. Let's talk about autonomy. Autonomy is a trigger that is very related to the certainty trigger that we just talked about. If you've ever been forced into a long-term commitment with a company, or someone has tried to sell you a product that is got bundled features that you don't actually want to use, then you're familiar with the alarm bells that come from having your autonomy taken away. You know how your cable company tries to get you to buy the gold package just so that you can watch the Animal Planet. Unfortunately, robbing a prospect of autonomy right from the get-go can be a death knell to a perfectly good marketing campaign. This feeling of having your autonomy taken away from you only becomes more acutely felt as the product becomes more expensive. If you multiply the aversion to loss that we all have with the feeling of having your autonomy taken away, Well, it basically makes the sale impossible. Telling someone what to think also sets off alarm bells. If you're writing sales copy, try not to be so direct. If there is a conclusion that you're trying to help someone make, ask them thoughtful questions that will help them make that conclusion. Let them write the sales copy in their heads. Here are a few ideas that can help your prospects to maintain their feeling of autonomy throughout the sales process. First of all, publish your warranty or your guarantee as explicitly as you can early in the sales process. Make it as clear as possible. If your lawyer is writing your guarantee or your warranty, you may want to make it more explicit or clear for people who might be actually reading it. Tell people exactly what they're getting when they do business with you. And again, don't use forceful sales copy. People are smart. Help them draw the right conclusions by asking thoughtful questions. A word of warning when you're crafting these thinking questions. Try not to be condescending. If you're asking a question to help someone think, that's great. But don't ask questions that make people feel like you're stringing them along. So let's talk about relatedness. This is one of the core concepts in social media, getting someone to relate to you on a personal level. We all know how much easier it is to do business with or connect with someone who we relate to. For instance, if someone you've just met turns out to be into something that you're into, you're more likely to relate to them naturally. One of the simplest things that you can do on your website, again, to promote relatedness, is to get a photo of yourself or your team online. Until you do that, you're just sending out a very strong anonymous vibe. Some of the questions that you can seek to answer on your website to help people relate to you might be, what associations do you support professionally? Why are you so excited about the profession that you're in? Why did you choose to be in the profession that you're in? The answers to these kinds of questions will strongly differentiate you from your competitors in the same marketplace. Let's talk about fairness. That's an easy one, right? No one likes to be treated unfairly. Anything you can do to help your prospect appreciate that they're going to be treated fairly is going to do a lot to alleviate any fears that they might have. That having been said, you really want to do that in a subtle way too. You don't want to start your sales message by saying, "Trust me," in so many words. Sending off that "trust me" message sends off all kinds of alarm bells. It reminds us of used car salesmen. You'll be better off if you simply demonstrate the fairness and transparency of your sales process. One of the best ways of doing this is making yourself available. Again, if people have a grievance, they should be able to get a hold of you. You're not hiding behind some anonymous contact form. When it comes to fairness, though, if you're appealing to a person's sense of certainty at the outset of your sales process, they won't feel as though you're hiding or that you're anonymous and that they have to worry about being treated fairly. If you're interested in talking more about using your website to connect in a more meaningful way with customers, I'd be happy to talk to you at the number below. If you're interested in reading David Rock's book, I've put a link to it in the comments for this video. Thank you for watching and have a great day.